Okay, remember how we bring in the image? We go to library. This is the last one I did. We're going to find the image that we want, which is this one here. Just going to drag and drop it in. We click here on import. Okay, double click here and go to develop. It's a cute picture of one of my children. Okay, so now the image, what I'm thinking here is that it's a very soft, delicate image, and I want it to be warm. The most important thing is I want it to be warm. I want the image to just be warm and to give that like, to kind of give off the same kind of glowy, kind of warm feeling as Esther here. So first I'm going to look at the color temperature. So this way is obviously making it cooler, this way is making it a little bit warmer. Just again, like, just very incrementally. I don't want it to get brighter, which is what's happening a little bit. So I'm going to drop the exposure down a teeny little bit. Okay. Now one of the things also that I want to do is I want to emphasize her eyes and de-emphasize everything else that's going on. So there's a few, what I can do here is with a radial filter. Everyone remembers what a radial filter is? There's two options. I can either have it, it's the same idea as it's all to do with the brush. It's done for you. So right now it's just giving me a filter going away from here. Now I've actually got it set now to clarity all the way down, and sharpness is up a little bit, but I want to drop the sharpness here as well. Let's just have a look here. Good. I want to keep the texture a little bit more on her jacket, which we call it on her coat. So I'm going to go from here. I'm going to go down to erase. 1 second. Go to brush. Now I can go to erase. And I'm not going to erase it completely. I'm going to go to 50, which means it's going to erase it at half value, so it's still there a little bit. So if I go before and after, you should still see, do you see it still has softened in a teeny drop? Okay, now I'm going to copy this. All I need to do is right click, go to duplicate. So now that you saw that just get blurrier because it's copied the exact same thing, but I don't want to do the same effect whatsoever. In fact, I don't want that same effect. So what I want to do now is just drop things, make things a little bit darker, because I want to really emphasize her face. So now I'm just going to move this a little bit so I can see I'm going to go back to the edit so I can now. Okay, we just drop things a teeny little bit darker. Good. And now I'm going to duplicate it one more time. And the truth is, I don't need to reduplicate. I can just make a new one. Go here again. And now I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to invert the mask, which means the mask right now, the action is taking place outside of the circle. If I go to invert mask, now the action is taking place inside the circle. Okay, I'm going to reset all of my, I want to reset everything here. By just going double clicking on effect, we can reset everything. Now what I want to do here is just give like a kind of a gentle glow. So I'm moving the exposure up a teeny little bit, drop the clarity down a teeny little bit. Okay, that's good. Now I'm going to go to split toning, because now I want to really bring out the. We'll go back to her face in a minute. I just want to bring in the colouring that I wanted to do. Now we can see the colouring. This is when it's 100% opacity. Yeah, this is 100% opacity. As I drag it down, it becomes less and less until we hit this bottom bit, which means it's nothing. Okay, so I want to find my colour by being on the top end. It's obviously not going to look anything like this, but I just want to find what kind of colour I'm looking for, which is something along these lines here. Now I can drop this all the way down, and I'm going to just work up a little bit, just a teeny little bit. That's looking good. Good, and now I'm going to do the same to the shadows. Now this is where my other one was for the height, so that's a good place to start for the shadows. But it could be that I'm going to try and make the shadows a little bit Let's see what happens here. A second. And now we can go between. It's very subtle. This is now edging towards the shadows, which I made kind of like a more cool red, purple. And this is this is now going towards the highlights, which was a red. So I want to edge it towards the highlights. Tov. I want to also make the background a little bit darker still. So we'll go back to the original one of these ones that I did here, not that one. Not that one second. I want to go to that one. Yeah, we can see the exposure. I want to drop the exposure down further. Top. Now I want to get into her face a little bit. Let's zoom in. We're going to go to our brush tool, press spacebar, which allows us to drag. Okay, now I'm going to just do the regular iris enhance, which is here on which you have preset. I'm just going to, I want this to just be a little bit sharper, so I'll raise the clarity up a little bit. And I want to also raise, just add a little bit of light more, drop more light. Good. Make a new one now. Just quickly do a simple skin soften. Now, one of the things when I do a skin soften with a child, it is a good idea. You don't usually need to do full, skin doesn't usually need the full effect. So the difference between flow and density is that flow, if I do 50%, that means I just did 50%. If I go back again, that basically means that I did 100%. So with flow, I can get to 100% of the brush. Let's look. If I press O, we can see the effect. Okay, so now look, you see how light that is? But now if I go over it and over it and over it, it gets darker and darker. So with flow, I can always get back to 100%. I just have to go over it a few times. Whereas with density, if I go to flow at 100 and density at 50, now, doesn't matter how many times I go over it, it's going to stay at 50%. Okay, so there's a time and a place for both of them. You'll work it out yourself as you go. Okay, so now, let's just... That doesn't need any area. Again, be careful with kids, like, just remembering kids' skin doesn't usually need it. To get rid of that blemish is very easy, or ketchup stain, whatever it is. Just click over here. It's gone.
How do you put the brush back to custom? You can set your own.
Oh, you go to brush, you just double click effect, and then it will say soften skin edited, but that it's just nothing. Okay, so now let's have a look what we've done. We've gone from that to that. That is a nice that's a nice effect. Okay, good. You'll get sent that. 1 second.